Hi everybody, it is Friday afternoon, the 26th of December, and today I want to talk with you about something that I get asked a lot. And that is about how do I protect myself against negativity in the workplace, at home, all the way up to psychic attacks against us. So first I wanted to thank everybody who has subscribed to my channel. Thank you very much. And thank you for everybody who liked my channel. And most likely anybody who leaves a comment. Thank you so much. I really, really, really appreciate that. So when we talk about negativity, it is kind of, if you don't have a practice of meditating daily and clearing yourself every day of anything that does not serve anymore, it might be a little tricky to find when energy from outside enters your body and is affecting you. So being able to have a practice where you open sacred space every morning, where you would use sage, burn it, smudge it, clear your space, and then do an exercise where you basically visualize yourself inside a bubble of cosmic light that's filled up from your seventh chakra above your head, filling that chakra up with light, and then creating a drainage hole, for lack of a better word, on the very bottom of that ball that goes below your feet, where all that energy drains out. And so as you sit in that cosmic bubble of light, imagine all these darkness energy, stuck energy, blocked energy, anything that does not serve you anymore start floating out of your body, out of your aura, and drains into the ground. And then when you start feeling, wait, I think I'm good now, then you can close it all up and seal it and walk in that beautiful bubble of light all day of protection. I'm not going to talk in detail about it, but having the Merkaba around your body is something else that you could do research upon. That is an amazing way of protecting yourself daily. So that's are we number up to 3 already? So working with the Merkaba, learning how to install the Merkaba every day is very, very important to protect yourself from all negativity. Another way of protecting yourself could be to invoke the violet flame. I'm not going to do much more talking about that today because that in itself will be a whole video. Do some research on, there's a book on the violet flame that you can go and do research on. I think there's only one, and I cannot think of the author right now, but I could put a link on the bottom when I'm done. So there's the violet flame, invoking the violet flame, that is an incredible amount of protection right there. So now those are very, very, very effective ways of protection. So, but I wanted to talk a little bit about crystals too. So say you're working in a workplace and you already have your Merkaba installed, or say you don't have it. Well, here's another way. You can take clear quartz, and I like it terminated in one end, and you can put it in a pot, and I only have my mug here, but a little pot planter, flower planter, and you can stick it in the ground, and the pointy end goes down, and this crystal then absorbs all that negativity in the office and goes into the soil. And say monthly, depending on how much negativity you have to deal with, go and take it home, empty it out, clear your crystals, because the crystals are like vacuum cleaners. It sucks all that negativity out, and so it's very important to clean your crystals on a regular basis. I have already talked about crystals in another video, and there's a lot more to learn about crystals in other videos, so do check that out. Kyanite is another crystal that is very protective against negativity. And if you want to have kyanite that you can wear on your body or stick it in your bra, maybe even, it's an amazing crystal for protection. There's also black kyanite that's also very powerful. So then the one thing I wanted to say, so we have created sacred space in our house now, and we know how to how to invoke that space. And you can also invoke your space of sacredness before you leave your house in the morning in your office, so that your office is safe and protected. If you are feeling unsafe, and this goes from anywhere, any time of the day, any time of the night, you can call on Archangel Michael. Do some research on your archangels. Also know that everybody has their personal angels and personal guides. But since you have free will, they will not interfere if you don't ask. So remember to ask for help. That's probably the first thing I should have mentioned. All right, so I started talking about crystals, and salt is a very important crystal to mention, because salt will repel darkness. So if I am to do a ceremony and I do not want any interference from other energies from the outside, I can put a barrier of salt outside of my house. If I feel more vulnerable at night, one of the things that you could do is put some salt by your doorstep, and maybe even under windowsills, so nothing can enter that way. And tourmaline. Black tourmaline is an amazingly protective crystal, and that can go on windowsills. And of course, you ask the crystal, please, I am asking for protection, and there it is. You can just put it on your windowsill, or maybe by the door. All right, so these are good. I will bring one more thing up, and that is that if you have only one crystal and you want to spread the force, the power of that crystal around a little bit, one of the things that you could do is to take a jar, maybe a jelly jar, and take that crystal into that jar and put the lid on, because you do not want to get tourmaline wet. It has to stay dry. It does not like water. Then you take that jar and you can put distilled water around that jar. So here is one that I'm infusing right now. And once that jar has sat for maybe a day or so, it varies. Nobody can really tell you precisely how long it would sit. I would say use your intuition. You can put that water into a jar like this, so that you can spray that water maybe around your bedroom or areas where you feel vulnerable, to have the power of that tourmaline. There's a lot more to learn on the internet about crystal elixirs that you can research. So we've talked about angels, and we've talked about crystals, and we've talked about sacred space. So I would bring up one more trick that's in my book, and that is mirrors. Now, I couldn't find a mirror that was flat that I could use to explain it to you, but I have this little convex cosmetics mirror, and so I thought I will use this to explain it to you. So here I have a picture that I just cut out of a catalog, but you would take a picture of yourself or any of your family members if you want to protect a family member, and you would cut it out. And here's your mirror. Now look, I'm using the back of the mirror, not the front of the mirror. And I take that picture, and that person you are looking out through that mirror. So the back of the picture would be visible, not the front. So that's what it would look like once you've put your picture on the back of that mirror. Now you cannot see it when you look at the mirror, but you are actually looking out through that mirror. And if there are people out there who is actively meaning you harm, you can use this. And I have heard of people who had like really angry, aggressive local people who would come at night and drive up the driveway and honk and throw things at the house and then speed off again. And you can just feel that anger and negative energy coming at you. And so they did this technique where they would take pictures of the family members living in that house and stick them on the back of the mirror and put them on trees as you come up the driveway. The first night when these people came back, they came into the driveway, slammed on their brakes, reversed, and left, and never came back again. Why does that work? Well, all that malevolent energy that they send towards you is suddenly reflected back at them. And it's not a nice feeling. So never send negative energy to anybody out there. It's very important that we only put the energy of love and compassion out there, but also to have boundaries. So when people send this kind of energy your way, you have boundaries and protection so that whatever they send to you comes right back at you. So, I would say one more thing. When I was living in South Africa, I was working with somebody who wanted a lot of money, and we had agreed on a certain amount of money. And when we were getting ready to leave the country, she suddenly made a lot more demands on money. But she never showed up. I went to say goodbye, and she did not show up to say goodbye. And I decided to leave, and I felt like I've had enough. And while I was getting ready to leave, I received a phone call, and she said we owe her X amount more money. And I thought, oh my goodness, this is this is crazy. Anyway, I got in the car and I started feeling this incredible negativity coming my way. And I decided I'm not going to answer the phone anymore. I don't want to engage with this negativity. And I got home and I felt exhausted. And I thought, well, that's kind of weird. Why do I feel so tired? And I decided to lay down, and there was no way. There was not about getting rest. And I realized, oh, okay, I understand what's going on here. And I had red, white, and black embroidery floss with me at that time. And I had a mirror, not a mirror, I had a candle. And I don't have the embroidery floss now, so I'm just going to sort of try and explain to you what I used. So I took the floss and I kind of put them all together in one piece, and I would take with my fingers and I would go back and forth while thinking about this situation, just to sort of like try to connect but not send negativity. Just sort of like, so that's what was going on. We went there to say goodbye. And then she wasn't there, and then the phone started ringing, and she wanted more money. And when I was done with that, I took it off, and I put it on a pair of scissors to hold it, and I put it on the flame. Now, this is 100% cotton. And I hold it over the flame, and it starts burning. And the thread turned black and gooey, almost like burning nylon. And it had a very nasty odor. And while I'm holding it over the flame, I'm struggling to keep the flame going. It's like the flame keeps going out. It's really heavy and nasty. Anyway, I finally managed to burn it all up. It was not a lot. It's very thin embroidery floss. And of course, my thinking mind goes, well, let me do one more. Let me just kind of check it to see, do a controlled study here. So I took the same thread again, without thinking about her this time, took it back and forth until the same amount of floss was wrapped around my fingers again. Took it again, hold it with the scissors over the flame, and start burning it, and all burnt up. no darkness, no blackness. It's just all gone, a little bit of smoke, all gone. And for me, that was confirmation that was negativity that was sent my way. And I could feel, as I was burning it, I could feel her struggling to fight me, like, I'm going to send you this energy. To a degree, I feel very lucky that what she was sending me was that and not more. Now I would say, in retrospect, I would just call on my angels and say, please just take this away from me. But that technique worked, and I was very grateful for that. And I am not carrying any negativity towards this person. I'm just glad I have cut my cord with that person and have moved on. So that was my story, and I hope it was not too dark for anybody. But I also want to thank everybody who liked and subscribed. And I love any comments that are left behind on my videos. So thank you so much. And let me know if there's anything else that you guys would like me to answer or talk about. Hope everybody's well. Take care.